If you need some help choosing new iconic headwear, we know just the two to ask. Whether it's a cowboy hat, a Pittsburgh Penguins cap, or a Mandalorian helmet, perhaps, these two can give you some tips. Here to chat more about the upcoming Mandalorian and Grogu, Dave Filoni and Pedro Pascal.
Looking for
Yeah.
That is a beautiful thing. All right. We're barely getting started here on day one, and Dave, you've already taken the hat off. I don't even know. It goes up from here.
What are you? I can't even hear you. It's fine.
She's telling you to take. She's telling you to take the hat off.
Because we're inside.
You already took the hat off.
I did. Well, it's hot.
It's warm. It's warm. We also get instructions right before coming out and forget all of them immediately.
Yeah.
That's okay.
As soon as we come out. Am I sitting in the right spot?
You're in the right spot, I think.
Okay.
Yeah, you know what?
Okay. Okay.
All right.
Once again.
It goes with the boots.
Wait. Put it back on the screen.
It really
I look
does.
great.
You do look good.
So
You do
good.
look good.
Yeah. You know what?
Some indie vibes.
Yes. I think that's your hat now, Pedro.
Don't get
I think you
attached
should keep
to it.
that.
Attachments are bad. Don't do it.
All right, you two. How does it feel to be back at Star Wars Celebration?
It's amazing. This is amazing. This is a lot of people.
Yeah.
I've never seen that.
That's what it feels like.
Yeah.
Everyone here makes it feel like the most incredible experience that you could possibly imagine.
Yeah. I think it actually exceeds expectations when you're in the midst of this, and it is deafening, and the fans are so excited to see you two and cannot wait for what news you brought us. So tell me, Dave, I know you love to talk secrets and teasers and all that.
Yeah,
who's
sure.
your
Yeah,
favorite
let's
thing?
go for it.
Yeah.
I just like looking out the audience, and I'm like, oh, look, there's Krennic. And then there's just right there. Look at him. Look at him. There you are.
There was a Dave.
How's that Death Star working out for you? Yeah.
There's a Dave somewhere behind you, too. I need you to know that if you
There are a
haven't
lot of
spotted him
Daves,
already. There's
yeah.
a lot of Daves.
Yeah, I've heard.
But only one original. There he is. Yeah.
Cosplaying Dave Filoni.
Oh, my God.
But tell us, what...
Yes, your question. Go
Yes,
ahead.
my question. What can you tell us about The Mandalorian and Grogu?
Well, absolutely nothing. I
Oh,
mean,
go
you
on.
knew.
that's
No, you
always your
knew that
answer.
going in. I mean, it's a wonderful
them
movie. It's a
everything.
wonderful movie. You saw part of it today. What more do I need to say that you saw? I mean, that was exciting right there. I mean, I think that what's really fun is watching John directing a movie again. You know, I have such great respect for John, and I'm so fortunate he took me in and taught me and mentored me as I learned to do live action and working with Pedro, which was what a privilege to be in that spot for my first time out. You know, it really was. And now to see it grow to this scale is just really exciting. So yeah.
Yeah. To be fair, I knew that was a trap. I knew that was going to be your answer all along.
Yeah.
But I still have to ask.
Yeah, it's your job. I get it.
One of these days, you're going to tell me something when I ask that question.
Probably not.
Probably not. No. I'm going to keep trying. All right, Pedro, what was it like returning to set and putting the Mandalorian armor back on for a feature film? That's got to be intense.
Like a warm glove. kept warm by two other incredible actors, Brendan Wayne, Lateef Crowder. It's being here today that I realize I've never had to be with the same people for such a long amount of time. It's been 7 years.
A long time.
You won't leave me alone.
No, I thought when I started Clone Wars, it was a 2-year job. And this is 20 years, so get ready. You're in it now.
Yeah.
You're in it now.
I was doing a play in New York City, and Dave Filoni came, because it was right before we were starting to work together, and he came to see the play.
Yeah.
With his wife. And the day that he had come to see the play, I had gotten my very first, fan portrait of the Mandalorian, and it was in my dressing room, and you got to see it. It was just a strange coincidence. We're not answering any of your questions.
No,
we're very,
okay.
very, very
That's
jet
okay.
lagged.
You've learned the ways. I'm very
Just
impressed.
talk about other stuff.
Exactly it. Yes.
Listen,
so
I know
your question was what?
That's okay. I know, Dave, I know you well enough to know I don't need to ask you any questions. You'll
It's
just
all
run
right.
with it. You'll be good, yeah. No, I think you answered it beautifully. We're so excited. But Pedro, as you mentioned, you have been part of this family since 2019 when The Mandalorian premiered. What's something, if you could go back in time and tell Pedro of those days in that dressing room getting cast?
Sooner, 2018 is when we met. Yeah.
Yeah.
And when I got taken over to the first sets and put the helmet on, and it was that weird magical moment that it actually fit perfectly.
Yeah.
I remember that, and I was like, I can't see anything in here.
It's not important. It's not important. What would you tell yourself if you could go back in time and talk to that version of yourself?
Yo te amo también. One of the first introductions that I had with the fans was at a Star Wars celebration in Chicago in 2019.
Yes,
And that was like being on the receiving end of a jet. It was unbelievable. I remember feeling like a gust of energy just get blown at us, I have felt a kind of a part of that wave and family more than I have anything else in my professional experience. I can't tell you how humbling it is to be with all of you every single time. To be included with the likes of Dave Filoni and Jon Favreau and all of the cast and crew that they always assemble. They put their hearts, every pieces of themselves into making these incredible episodic experiences, and now this movie. And I'm just along for the ride.
And they really know how to put together a crew. Now, a lot of us know her as Ellen Ripley.
Oh!
Yeah. What can you tell us about Sigourney Weaver's character and just how amazing it is to have her in Star Wars? Dave, I can already tell.
Yeah.
I can already tell this isn't going my way.
It's amazing. It's more of a feeling than a word, isn't it? Yeah. No, she's great. I mean, it's like you look at her body of work, and what's great is as a person, she's even more spectacular, I think. She's so generous and knowledgeable. What she brings to her craft was so impressive. And I've worn an X-Wing outfit. It's not look how good she looks in it. It's incredible. I look like a grapefruit, but I think that she just, so I respect that as an X-Wing pilot. We're lucky to have her as a leader. She's someone that, fought in the rebellion and understands what's at stake with the Empire. And,
Okay.
You think it's too
let
much?
him talk, Pedro. Let him
Yeah.
talk.
I love it.
See,
Look what he did. Look
everyone
what he
knows.
did.
Everyone.
Well, I'll
he
tell
is
you more,
spoiler,
but Pedro
Filoni.
said no,
I
so
thought we
I'm
were
not
friends,
gonna go
man.
against that.
I thought you were on my side here.
I got you. She's in the movie. How's that?
All right, you know what?
Yeah.
Thank you.
That's
Confirmed.
something you didn't know.
Confirmed. All right. And you know who else is in this movie? Some of our little friends from Star Wars Parks. From Star Wars Galaxy's Edge, the BDX droids.
Yeah.
Super excited to see those little fellows waddle into the big screen. How is it having them go from Galaxy's Edge, where people can meet them in real life, and into your film?
It's weird. They're little, they don't take that much to charge. They won't run around the set. I don't really know what they do. They're funny. They're quirky.
They're
a
adorable.
little bit camera hogs, as you saw on the stage earlier. They wouldn't leave. But that's what they are. I mean, these droids, droids. What are you going to do? Like Chopper. He just, oh, God. That guy.
That guy.
That guy. It's like he's never done a nice thing for anybody, and he gets a big cheer. I don't understand it. Like, R2 I get. BB-8 I get. Chopper, though. See what I mean? It's weird. He's like a cat, though.
They love a war criminal.
Cats, they only do things if it pleases them. So that's a cat. That's Chopper.
That's exactly why.
Yeah.
I guess so. It's relatable. I don't know.
And there's a lot of big energy from little guys in this movie because we, of course, our buddy Grogu making his jump to the big screen. And Pedro, you're making the jump from a TV series to the silver screen. So, how does it feel to be the Mandalorian in this new space and to bring this story back to theaters?
Latino power. Thank you for answering the question for me.
Yeah.
I think that Dave, I know that Dave and John were very intent on creating a very cinematic experience within an episodic medium, and they nailed it with the series. I always dreamt that it would be a movie. I think I dreamt it before you guys. Personally, I knew that I had no say in the matter. But I knew
you have
it
some
was
pull
something
here.
that
We
what?
have a little pool here. I think you can suggest things.
Zero pool. I promise. But it was a fantasy, and that it's happened is unbelievable. Everyone has complete faith, as they should, in these guys to make it one of the best adventures we've seen since the first Star Wars movies were introduced to the world.
That's quite a promise. I love it.
So now you look nervous. Get back to work.
Yeah, everything's fine here. Situation normal. I like how you're just gonna stay on course too.
I'm
What you
trying
got?
to right the ship. It's okay.
You
It's
do.
all right. Dave, what can you tell us about what Pedro, not to put you in the hot seat, but what has Pedro brought to the character of Din Djarin that surprises you?
That surprises you, not that pisses you off.
Oh no. Well, these boots for one thing. That was surprising
Yes, are
today.
those
That was a real
screen-accurate boots?
surprise. I
Yeah.
thought, who could do that, And there it was. It's
No
always-
one.
No one. It's such
Including
a surprise.
me.
I love it. No, I love it. I think that, and coming from animation, I worked extensively with voice actors, and I think that people underestimate how challenging that can actually be. And something that really impresses me, because there's not an automatic translation from on-camera work to voice acting. And while there's a lot of physicality to The Mandalorian, you have to portray something in your voice that's very unique in each situation. And I just really appreciate that and marvel at how well you blend together the performance of, all you Mandos into one thing. Something that's very special about this character is that collaboration between you and Brendan and Lateef. and it all comes together with the voice. And so never undervalue that voice performance, that warmth that you bring, which is a special ability. And I've known so many great voice actors, and I'd put you right there with them. It's a really great talent, and not one everyone has. So bravo to you.
Thank you. Thank you. We had me earliest with Dave had a lot of experience actually sort of authoring the physicality of the character and discovering what it would mean within the suit to understand the arc of a scene. In the slightest of gestures, head tilts, and stuff like that. In the time that we did get to spend with the mask on, quite a lot in the earlier stages, and that was a fascinating way of finding a new way of kind of like finding subtle expression through with a character.
We talked about Clint Eastwood. And it is all about.
Ooh.
It was all.
It's all about that.
Yeah,
the
it's right.
brim angle, and when he's like, "This is the T visor, the top
That's
of the
right.
T," and so when he's looking and he just tilts down, it's a different. It's more of an angry brown. And when he looks up, it's more examining, and every little head tilt, and then
and like the shaking of the head, you could like if
very
it was like
subtle,
it'd be too
subtle
big,
movements.
and it would all look like there was a lot more authorship than you would realize. That went
A lot more
into it.
goes
Very
into it.
surgical.
A lot goes into a head tilt. I feel like all the Mandalorian cosplayers taking notes here of the
Well,
head
they
tilt.
already know. They're it every day. They try to, every day they know.
Yeah. Pedro, you speak so much about the trio and what it takes to bring the Mandalorian to life. But in your estimation, how have you helped to shape him?
Well, I've been very, very lucky and brought in into such early stages of development. Dave and John are so incredibly collaborative. And I think what you would expect in a role like this is really just kind of stand there, do what you're told, and they demand way more than that. And they really expect you to sort of put the kind of heart of authorship into it when it comes down to any kind of a line change or tone in voice or posture or any of it. They're always constantly demanding collaboration. And it's
Demanding that Dave Filoni.
It's unbelievable, to have that kind of an invitation into it from the beginning, and has maintained that and has been that. And I've also never had a chance to be so much a part of the post and sit in the room with these guys and see everything from its like crudest stages into what ends up getting shared with the world is fascinating. I feel very, very, very lucky.
Very good answer. Very good.
That feels like a masterclass in filmmaking and in the Star Wars galaxy and storytelling overall. But I think we're all fans here first, right? Yeah. Including the two of you, our two esteemed guests. So what makes going to the movie theater for a new Star Wars film such a unique experience? In your own words. I want to hear it straight from you two.
The popcorn bucket, obviously. Like, what will it be? Will it be the pram, and you have to reach around Grogu to get the popcorn? Where will they put the popcorn? I don't know. I mean, I think it's. I always look at stuff and say, well, Star Wars began in the theater, and it really exploded out from there. And we're so used to having a Star Wars film as a big driver behind everything else that we had in the franchise. One of my favorite periods of Star Wars, because now there are many periods of Star Wars, would have been in the prequel era, when and something I vividly remember in that period was I would see the Phantom Menace, but then there were all of the books and all of the games and all of the things surrounding it related to that, and you could like be with all that other material all the way up to Attack of the Clones. And then we'd go watch that movie together, and then we'd go back and you'd all the more books and all the more games, all things. And so there's a massive community around it, all kind of generated towards the same thing. And I'm very interested in that, and I think it's something that the movie provides that big driver. And George understood that type of ecosystem for Star Wars. And so I have a lot of focus on that these days and how we can, really make that happen to give the fans the dimensional experience that I know they love about this franchise. Because it's not just, it starts in the theater and then it trickles out everywhere in a wonderful way. And you see it here take shape in reality. And it just, you get energized celebration to go back and say, all right, we're going to put in even more time because we will make this even better for all these guys. So that's what it is.
Yeah. Pedro, how do you get back into the headspace for The Mandalorian when you're working on this film?
You just stuff your head in that helmet.
You don't just say
The
this is the way?
headspace is very economical.
All right, I was just trying to bait you to say this is the way. I think we all
This
know
is the
that.
way.
Thank you. That's all I wanted. Anything else you want to tell the fans today?
Los quiero mucho. Thank you for having us also in Tokyo. It's been incredible.
And thank you for being here and for being especially with us on
Y
the Star
viva
Wars
Chile!
Thank you for being here on the Star Wars Celebration Live stage with us as well. Such an amazing day, and we can't wait to watch The Mandalorian and Grogu in theaters next year. More Star Wars is coming up, so don't you dare touch that dial.